received a comment this week on a video I made talking about how, in my experience, most people who believe they are of Italian descent, when they take DNA tests, it typically shows they're at least part Jewish background, as was the case with my mom, who thought she was half Italian her whole life, found out she's 4.5%. And literally, we know that half of her family came from Italy. There was no speculation just based on last name. We know for a fact that her grandfather came here when he was about 19 years old. So I've been very open about that on this channel. And so I had someone leave a comment on that video saying, well, is it that maybe it's just that Italian people resemble physically Jewish people in America, and maybe that's what it is. So is it that Italians and Jewish people resemble each other, or is it that that Italian people of Italian descent, actually have Jewish background? My answer is simply both. Typically both. Now granted, there are always exceptions to the rule, but the moment anyone has to leave a comment to say, well, I know an exception to the rule, I'm an exception to the rule, then when we're focused on the exception to the rule, we're only giving validation to the actual generalization theory, and that is, especially here in the United States, you take a DNA test, you think that you're largely of Italian descent, you're probably going to be surprised that that Italian marker is much smaller, if existent at all. As for me, it was 0% Italian, thinking I'm a quarter Italian my whole life. All right, and then so that, I think, is actually the norm. That's what we're finding out from these DNA tests based on the samples they did these DNA tests from Jewish people and from people of Italian descent. So I think, yes, Jewish people and Italian people tend to resemble each other, and we see this in movies all the time where actors of Italian descent play Jewish characters and vice versa. That happens all the time, and I think that actually validates this theory more than anything. But then when they take the DNA test, it actually shows that there is Jewish DNA. It's not necessarily reverse. It's not like if I'm 100% Jewish and then you take a test and you're Italian. Less likely for that to happen. More likely that I'm Italian descent and then you find out, not so much, I'm actually more Jewish than anything. You got comments, they belong right here.